Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to Social Science online teaching classes from Vishwamanava Residential High School. I am Mahboobi, your social science teacher. My dear students, all of you know that this is your social science textbook. The social science textbook divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 textbook consists of 22 lessons we have already discussed in the previous classes. Now start part 2 textbook lessons. In part 2 textbook there are 17 lessons. Part 2 textbook has further divided into 6 major parts. All of you know that. One is history, second one is political science, third one is sociology, fourth one is geography, fifth one is economics, and the last one is business studies. In the history part, we can see there are 4 lessons: freedom movement, era of Gandhi, and national movement. Then post-independent India, and the last one is the political developments of 20th century. Then political science. In political science, we can see there are 2 lessons is there. First one is global problems and India's role, and second one is international institutions. Sociology. In sociology, we can see there are 2 lessons. One is social movement, another one is social problems. Then geography part. Geography part, we can see there are 5 lessons is there. One is Indian mineral and power resources. Second one is Indian transport and communication. Third one is Indian industries. Fourth one is Indian natural disasters. And fifth one is Indian population. Then economics. In economics, we can see there are 2 lessons. First one is money and credit, and the second one is public finance and budget. Then in business studies part, we can say there are 2 lessons: globalization of business and consumer education and protection. There are 17 lessons in the part 2 textbook. Now, my dear students, in today's class we are going to discuss in the history part of the 7th lesson, that is freedom movement. Freedom movement lesson, this is in view of examination one of the very important lesson. In this part we are going to discuss about rise of nationalism, Indian National Congress, moderates, radicals, division of Bengal, and revolutionaries. My dear students, in today's class we are going to discuss rise of nationalism, Indian National Congress, and moderates. Okay, my dear students, let's start. Rise of nationalism. First, nationalism is nothing but the love of country and the devotion of one country. It is the love of country and the devotion of one country. How this nationalism rise in India? My dear students, Indian freedom movement is a very important chapter in the history of India. Understand? Before this, we come across many kings who fight against the foreign occupation, but these fights were guided by the political goals. Since they fight against the foreign occupation, it can be considered as the beginning of nationalism. My dear students, nationalism, it is the identification with one's own nation and support for its interest. Understand? First, we know what is freedom movement. Understand? Freedom movement, it is the independence based on various fields: social, political, economical, religious, and other ideological grounds. It is the independence based on various fields. Understand? My dear students, nationalism is nothing but it is the love of country and the devotion of one country. how this nationalism rise in India. Understand? So, there are some particular background of rise of nationalism in India. Local kings fight against British kings, guided by their political goals, since they fight against a foreign occupation. It is a beginning of a nationalism. Understand? Then, during the second half of 19th century, during the second half of 19th century, many developments like expansions of communication, roads, expansions of English education, journalism, and birth of cultural association can be witnessed. But people suffered a lot with the feminists and hardships created by the British rule. During the second half of the 19th century, many developments like communication development, education, journalism, cultural association, the field of education, and the field of transport and communication, all these sectors develop led to nationalism. Understand? Then many farmers and tribals that took place during this period is a proof of this. Indians who suffered in the hands of East India Company put up a strong resistance in the form of First War of Indian Independence in 1857. My dear students, Farmers and Tribal Association. The Farmers and Tribal Association witness particularly the creation of association. Understand? Farmers Association and Tribals Association witness particularly the creation of association. Unity of all these created to the 19th century. Farmers Report, Tribals Report. Farmers Association are all these very good examples. There was the birth of nationalism during the 1857. As a result, all of this, the educated youth started sharing the ideas of nationalism with ordinary people. Nationalism found its root as a concentrate concept. Indian National Congress is the institutional expression of this. My dear students, after 1857, as a result, it ended the rule of East India Company in the year 1858 and started the role of Queen of England in 1858. With the implementation of Act in 1861, the participation of Indians in the legislation process was ensured. As a result, we can see many educated people sharing their ideas of nationalism. Many educated peoples and ordinary peoples have could the sharing the ideas of nationalism. Understand? Now, next, Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress, INC. They were very association, INC. Many educated youth provided leadership to various associations which held a nationalistic outlook. Among them, the Hindu Mela, the All Indian Association, Pune Public Sabha, and the Indian Association are important. Newspaper opposed the stance of the government. During this regime, Lord Lytton Vernacular Press Act was implemented. My dear students, INC, Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress is a political party in India in the year 1885. Understand? There were various association established like Hindu Mela, All Indian Association, Pune Public Sabha, and the Indian Association. All these are some of the particular association established by on these great personalities on the this. Understand? Very important. Which are the organizations that were present before the founding of Indian National Congress? Organizations like the Hindu Mela, All Indian Association, Pune Public Sabha, and the Indian Association. Understand? During this 19th century, the establishment of Indian National Congress such as the Indian National Congress was inevitable. How? Newspaper opposed the stance of the government. During this region of Lord Lytton, Vernacular Press Act was implemented. All these developments inevitable led to the establishment of Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress. Lord Lytton Vernacular Press Act was passed to independence of press. This development led to the development of Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress, which changed the direction of Indian political history, was born in National Convention held at Bombay in 1885. W.C. Banerjee was its first president. A.O. Hume played an important role in formation of Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress established just to carry the problems of Indians before the British government. Understand? Indian National Congress established just to carry the problems of Indians before British government. Indian National Congress was established in the year 1885 in Bombay. It was founded by A.O. Hume. He was a retired British servant. A.O. Hume, he was a retired British servant. This Indian National Congress, which was established by A.O. Hume. A.O. Hume discussed various issues of public importance. Understand? Then the first Indian National Congress president by W.C. Banerjee. W.C. Banerjee was its first president of INC. This INC present the problems of people about before government, British government. Understand? And change the direction of the Indian political history. A.O. Hume was a retired British civil servant and met political leaders in cities like Madras, Bombay, and Calcutta and discussed the various issues of public importance. My dear students, A.O. Hume, he was founded by Indian National Congress. It was founded by A.O. Hume in the year 1885. He was a retired British servant. This INC, which was established by A.O. Hume, discussed various issues of public importance. Then after, he visited many places like Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. Then, what are the main objectives of Indian National Congress? What are the main objectives? First one is, as a result of these deliberations, the Congress declared that achieving national unity as its primary aim during its first national convention. That is the major objectives of Indian National Congress. The first major objectives is achieving national unity. National unity, it is the major objectives. It is a main objective of Indian National Congress. The first one is to bring the national unity among national convention. Then it achieve unity among the diverse cultural and social parts of India. The leaders of this period also had the commitment to achieve it. My dear students, the second main objectives of the Indian National Congress is to achieve unity among the cultural and social parts of India. Understand? To achieve unity among the cultural and social parts of India. Then newspapers were published in vernacular language and enabled discussion on various social issues. Newspaper were published in a vernacular language. Vernacular language, it is various language. Vernacular language, particular language. Newspaper published in a particular language and enable in this newspaper discussions on the various issues, social issues. Then as a result, various political issues reached the people. In the various political issues reached by the public. That is the another important objectives of Indian National Congress. Then the British employed divide and rule policy to break the unity emerging among the people with the development of nationalism. The British employed a divide and rule policy. In the British Governor General, that is Lord Macaulay, he implemented divide and rule policy to break the unity emerging among the people with the development of nationalism. Then they started implementing strategies to cause disunity among Hindu and Muslim. The another main objectives of Indian National Congress that is disunity among the Hindus and Muslims. Then still the Indian National Congress continued with its focus on creating unity among the Indians. Indian National Congress continued with its focus on creating unity among the Indian peoples, to bring unity among the Indian peoples. Then during the later part of the 19th century, difference of opinion arose in Indian National Congress. Difference of opinion see in the Indian National Congress in the later part of 19th century. Then the last is due to this difference in ideology, beliefs and execution styles, they are identified as moderates and radicals. Moderates and radicals, there are two wings of in the journey of freedom movement. One is moderates, another one is radicals. Both of them Congress leaders, but because of they depend on opinion, divided the two rules, moderates and radicals. Understand? These are the objectives of Indian National Congress. Now let's move on. Moderates. Who are moderates? Who are the leaders of moderates? Let us discuss. My dear students, traditionally the first 20 years of the Indian National Congress is called as the age of moderates. Who are moderates? The first 20 years of Indian National Congress is called as the age of moderates. Understand? In moderates, we can see major moderates leaders like W.C. Banerjee, M.G. Ranade, Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Nauroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. These are the moderate leaders. Understand? These are the moderate leaders. Moderates has faith in the rule of British. What are the demands of moderates? Let us discuss one by one. What are the demands? Demands of the moderates placed in front of British. They used to table their demands with the framework of the constitution through prayers and requests. What are the demands? What were the demands of moderates placed in front of the British? The first one is they submitted memorandums demanding. Second one is cutting down of military expenditure. The third one is development of Indian industries. Fourth one is providing good education. And the fifth one is programs for poverty alleviations. Moderates were the first to study the ill effects of the British rule on India. My dear students, the major demands of the moderates place in the front of British, the first one is the try to bring in political awareness among the people. First, to bring the political awareness among the people. Then after, they organized public meetings. In public meetings, discussion various burning issues and submitted memorandums to the government. Memorandums, it is the memo, written message to business or any other field. Understand? To submit it memo to the government. Then they submitted memorandums demanding cutting down of military expenditure. To bring the military expenditure. Second one is then development of Indian industries. Understand? Then providing good quality of education. Providing good quality of education. Increasing the military expenditure. Development of Indian industries. Understand? And various programs for poverty alleviation. These are the major demands of moderates placed in front of British. Understand? Then moderates were the first to study the ill effects of British rule on India. Moderates were the first to study ill effects of British rule in India. Then Drain theory of Dadabhai Nauroji. What is mean by drain theory? Very important. Very important. Ask for examination. Drain theory. Drain theory, it is the drain of resources of India into England through scientific statistics is called as drain theory. Dadabhai Nauroji called it drain theory. By increasing the import and reducing the export, the British facilitate the draining out of precious Indian resources into India. My dear students, drain theory means it is drain of resources of India into England, one country to another country through the scientific statistics is called as drain theory. Drain theory is called by Dadabhai Nauroji by increasing the imports and reducing the exports to the British facilities. Third or the draining. Understand? Then just like Dadabhai Nauroji, R.C. Dutt to published books explaining the draining of Indian resources into England. The period of moderates is called as Age of Liberal Nationalism. The period between 1885 to 1905 is called as Age of Moderates. My dear students, Dadabhai Naoroji and R.C. Dutt has published two main important books. Published books in that books explaining the draining of Indian resources into England. Understand? This moderates periods is also called as Age of Liberal Nationalism. This period is held between 1885 to 1905 is called as Age of Moderates. Understand? Okay, my dear students, in this class we have learned what is nationalism, then how to rise of nationalism, then Indian National Congress and moderates. Who are moderates? Who are the leaders of moderates? In moderates we can see W.C. Banerjee, M.G. Ranade, Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Naoroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale were the major moderate leaders. These points we have learned in this class. Okay, my dear students, the next class we are going to discuss radicals, partition of Bengal or dividing into parts of Bengal, then revolutionaries. These points we going to discuss the next class. Okay, my dear students, thank you.